Hello everybody, we're back with part 2 of Sonic Adventure 2, and as you can see, Sonic is in jail. So what do you think of this plot setup, the way they started up the game? It started off the game with Knuckles saying, I will find the piece of the Master Emerald that I myself destroyed. Tails starts the game trying to break Sonic out of prison, and Sonic gets arrested.
Um,
It's definitely a setup, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah. So I gotta say that the way this game starts really does catch the eye. Do you agree?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And if you remember from Sonic X, this also happened, although they did kind of change a little bit of the motivations. For example, in Sonic X, Sonic got purposefully arrested so that he could find the Black Hedgehog. Yep. Now, you could say, but Miguel, he knows his name is Shadow. Except if you actually pay attention during the cutscene, he was on a roof whispering that to himself. There's no way Sonic could hear that. And now we're escaping from a military base. It really is convenient that the military has a training course that's perfect for Sonic to run on, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Everything is set up so Sonic can run on it.
Yep. Which, admittedly, that's more of a gameplay limitation. After all, this game was released in 2001, meaning that it's older than the two of us. That's crazy. Isn't it?
I thought you were born like in 1970.
Why did you think I was born in the 1970s?
You just act like it.
How?
Because you know all these things that I don't know.
Well, I mean, I always was into history. I did get an A in my history class back in high school. And I got an A in my university world history class as well. But that's besides the point. It's just something that I tend to know, simply because I do like learning about the past and how people used to do things differently. Although, I'm not old enough to have an AOL email, I am old enough to have a Hotmail email. Too bad that that thing has pretty much died and become an Outlook email, but I'm assuming you don't know what any of that means.
Hotmail? I mean, who uses Hotmail?
A lot of people still use Hotmail, believe it or not.
Why?
Because some people never grew up, or more accurately, adapted their email. Because Hotmail and Gmail and Yahoo Mail, all of those can connect. Same goes with Outlook. The only one that I don't know can connect is AQL, because I have not seen AOL, because I have not seen anyone use that in a literal decade. Also, to explain to you why Sonic's shoes look different in this game, it's because they had a sponsorship with a company called Soap. So Sonic is wearing soap shoes rather than regular shoes.
Soap shoes?
They were a company that existed in the early 2000s, but they kind of died off. So yeah, they were a brand called Soap.
Oh.
Because, you know, skateboarding and rail tricks were all the rage in the 2000s. So that makes sense.
I thought you meant his shoes were made out of soap.
No. No. You know, honestly, I'm surprised Class of 09 didn't have characters skateboarding, because that was so huge back then. It was massive. Did you ever go skateboarding?
No. I don't think I could.
Okay. I mean, personally, I'm not into skateboarding, but I do know people who are, and it looks fun. It's just not for me.
My dad used to skateboard. He fucked up now.
Ouch. That's horrible. Also, why is the cat in a box? There's a purple cat in this arena trapped in the cage while Sonic and Shadow are fighting. Okay, admittedly, looking back, that boss fight really isn't that good. I guess it was a whole, for the time, the boss fight was alright, but looking back, there is no way the boss fight should be like that. And now we get to one of the huge reveals that Dr. Eggman planted a bomb on the island, set to go off. And if you're wondering where Shadow's from, he's from this island from the start of the game. That's where he shows up in. And now we gotta escape in the Green Forest. Or Green... I don't actually remember the name of this level, believe it or not. It's kind of weird. So far, what do you think of the game story?
It's the story.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's mid?
Yeah.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
I don't know. It's not like super interesting, but it's not like boring.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess this wouldn't catch your attention. Which makes sense. I mean, truth be told, this is not my favorite story in the series either. But a lot of people swear that it is the best one. And I don't see it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when we get later into the story. Because I do know that it gets better. It's just... Even I admit that the start of the game, while it does catch your attention, there's not much substance there. And it kinda isn't as good when you're not the one playing it. When you're the one playing it like me and you see how these characters are moving, it looks cinematic. It looks fun. Right?
Yeah.
Although, I really want to know the logic behind these springs. How do you get launched like that by a device and not break every bone in your body? Seriously, look at how painful that looks.
Yeah, it does. It looks like hard.
That would probably give you whiplash, I'm not gonna lie. Now, there's two levels like this where you're playing as a character with a time limit in a forest. There's White Jungle and Green Forest, I believe. And I think that Shadow has the White Jungle level, and I think that one is better. But that's just me. I know that a lot of people will say that Sonic has better levels than Shadow, but I think at that point, we're being subjective. Okay, I think you've heard enough of it. What do you think of the music so far?
It's pretty good.
Okay, let me ask you this question. What genre of music is being played in the background?
Game genre?
No, what genre of music?
I don't know.
Are you listening to the music at all?
I have it turned down a little bit so I can hear you.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, okay, no problem. So yeah, as you can see, Dr. Eggman blew up the island. That really does just come out of nowhere, doesn't it?
What does?
The island blows up. There was no build up to that at all. And now we're in David's favorite level. And I honestly think it's because of the rap song. I don't even think he likes this level to play it.
He likes rap.
Well, I don't know. But I think this song, this level specifically, has a song in it that he likes. It's called Pumpkin Hill. And honestly, it's catchy for the wrong reasons. If you actually listen to the lyrics of this song, it really does sound like he's talking about ghosts. Which he kinda is, but not in the way that the song is intended to be listened to. He's talking about how this place is not gonna get to him, and that he will find the emeralds if it's the last thing he does, and that ghosts are approaching him, and they're staring at him, but he doesn't care, because even though he can't see, he knows that the emerald is around somewhere. And for the most part, I just paraphrased the song lyrics. I didn't quote them verbatim, but that's more or less what this song is about. Okay, so let me ask you this. Are you a fan of treasure hunts?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these levels, the Knuckles levels, are all treasure hunts. For a treasure that he destroyed. I'm still mad about that.
Wait, how did he destroy it?
He punched a shard so hard that the shards... He punched the emerald so hard that the shards of the emerald flew off into a bunch of directions all over the world, and some of them even made it into outer space.
How, how did he do that?
It's simple. He's Knuckles. He's super strong. That's the actual explanation, by the way.
But why did he punch it? Was he just mad?
No, he punched it because Dr. Eggman tried to steal the emerald.
Oh, I see.
So he knew he couldn't take on Eggman directly that way, so he just decided to break the whole emerald. You know, the sacred treasure that he swore to protect for his race. Yeah. Good job, Knuckles. Absolutely phenomenal job.
The blackest thing ever.
The blackest shit ever. Is that what you said? Damn. Actually crazy. But that's besides the point. So we've escaped Pumpkin Hill. And got an A rank. I don't know how I did that, but I did. It's honestly a lot harder to get A ranks than you would possibly imagine. Because you don't play these games, you just see somebody play the game and you see, oh, A, B, C, and you probably don't think too much of it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, no, it is an absolute nightmare getting these A ranks. They are the strictest things I've ever seen. Well, not the strictest, but very strict. Also, we get one of the coolest scenes that has no build-up. See this? He blows up the
Yeah.
bottom half, and boom, it's his face.
He pissed on the moon.
But then, it goes even crazier. He uses his super laser of the quote-unquote Eclipse Cannon and destroys half of... Watch this. The moon! Now you would think that that would be one of the worst things to possibly happen in history, right?
Yeah.
Well, no. I kid you not. According to Shadow, their threats fell on deaf ears. In other words, nobody cared.
No one cares that he do it.
Yeah, you would think people would care, but no. Instead, they attempt to arrest Sonic again. It is kind of weird, mind you. I'm not gonna lie. The way they set up this plot, it's definitely entertaining, but that's about it. And yes, I have seen the video essays where people go on multiple hour tirades explaining why this game's story is phenomenal. And don't get me wrong, I think it's an entertaining story. But I don't think it's that, okay? People be hyping up this story like it's Shakespeare or something. It's not. And that's the way I see it. But of course, you're always free to disagree with me, Brielle. After all, that's kind of why you're here. To give your take. And now Tails becomes an even bigger career criminal. Because he fights the cops and the military. Including causing untold property damage.
Sounds like a freaking microwave.
What'd you say?
Sounds like a microwave.
Okay, you're cutting off. You sound like a robot.
It sounds like a microwave.
I see. I mean, honestly, the way this story goes, it really does sound... When I describe the plot of this game, it sounds like fan fiction. It really does sound like fan fiction, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Admittedly, though, it sounds like proper fan fiction, though, as opposed to the absolute cringe fest that a lot of fan fiction writers tend to fall into. This game at least has the decency to not make the characters completely out of character. It just has them acting really weird because they don't know what's going on, not because that's who they are. Also, I love the wanted sign posters in this level because they're for Tails, and they're the funniest things. It goes that Tails is a fox. His age is 8 years old. He's wanted for $1 million. And admittedly, you know, thank goodness they saved the world, because if not for that, then had they gone back to Earth at the end of the game, they would have all been put to death by the military. I mean, seriously, look at all this destruction. Anybody causes this in real life, they're done. Okay, they don't have a life anymore. I'm just saying. This incident sparked worldwide terrorist activity. I want to point out that it's not Al-Qaeda doing this shit. It's Tails and Eggman doing this shit. Although, you have to imagine that as a citizen, it really is disheartening seeing all of your tax dollars being made into all of these mechs and seeing them get blown to bits by a literal 8-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I was in that situation, I would feel bad. Also, Tails, the police are still in their cars. What are you doing? That's so funny. I guess it doesn't hit you as hard, these comedic moments, because you just never played this series. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, I want to point out we're in San Francisco.
You are?
Yeah, they're in San Francisco in this game. Which is why the backdrops. Look at the backdrop. Does that look like a city? Yeah, it does. Also, I should note that all instances where the sign Sonic Team shows up was originally advertising on the Dreamcast version, and whenever you see the word speed, note that on the original game it used to say soap. After all, they were sponsored by a shoe company. Which honestly is so fitting. I think that if they're ever going to get sponsors for this series, it should be shoe companies. I want to see Sonic the Hedgehog wear Nikes in the next game. Or Adidas, or whatever.
I want to see this is Doc Martin.
Because thing is, in the movies, Sonic wears Puma shoes. I'm assuming you didn't watch the movies of this.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, whatever's going on with your microphone quality is crazy. Because your microphone has never been this bad.
Oh, shit. Is it okay now?
I can hear you, I can understand what you're saying. Okay? I listen to David when we play card games, okay? A bad microphone is nothing to me. It's just crazy because historically your microphone quality is better. But that's the end of this part, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice day.